Devlin and CJ Vasquez to talk about a crazy game, the Cowboys game. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat the entire game. What about you guys?
That was definitely something crazy to watch. You know, just seeing Russell Wilson play out of his mind with that caliber of gameplay that he was performing was just absolutely insane. Malik Neighbors went off. CD had a pretty good game. Dak, all of them did really good. It was great.
We haven't seen Russ cook like that in a while, but
Yeah.
what do you think, CJ?
I mean, the whole time I'm just like, what is going on? Like, the whole time I'm watching, I'm just stressing because I'm a Cowboys fan myself. And the whole time I'm just super stressed out. Dak's making, different play moves out of time. He's throwing to basically George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. And they both had a better game. But Jake Ferguson, he needs to do better catching the ball. I mean, the defense pretty much got scorched earth by both Wan'Dale Robinson and Malik Neighbors the whole entire game. So
Yeah,
I was stressed the whole time.
Yeah, it was a great game, but for the Cowboys, there were definitely some rough signs. We got to talk defensively. I mean, week one, we thought Russ was finished. We thought that he was one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the league, we said, but he threw for 450 yards, the second most he's ever thrown for. Was that more on the Cowboys defense, or is Russ back?
In my opinion, I think it's a little mix of both. I think Russ is playing at a caliber that we haven't seen since like 2018, when his peak was from like 2013 to 2018. So I just think that it's a bit of a mix of both. I think the Cowboys need to work on their secondary, but also Russ just has that good connection with Neighbors.
Yeah, absolutely. With DaRon Bland out, I mean, do you think the secondary is going to be able to hold up over these next couple of weeks?
I mean, with going against the Bears offense, it's Ben Johnson that we're talking about, very much an offensive guru mind. It's just, even without DaRon Bland, I think he still wouldn't stop anything. And the whole time, their corners, Ka'ar Elam, Trayvon Diggs, just completely just been burned to toast by Malik Neighbors and Wan'Dale Robinson.
Yeah, Trayvon Diggs looked really bad. I mean, this was an all-pro corner a year ago. Is the injury making him not the corner he once was? Is he going to return to those heights, or is he kind of finished as that top-end corner, do you think?
I think he's done.
Wow.
I think after he got paid, and it happens a lot with a lot of players that get the big bucks. Like, you just see it now with DaRon Bland. They get paid, and for some reason, magically, they get hurt. And I don't know if it's they don't care anymore because they got paid, and if they get replaced, they're like, okay, I'm replaced, but I still got my money, basically like that.
Bowie, do you think he's gonna return to form?
Everyone has their ups and downs. Just because he got that bag and he got injured doesn't mean that I don't think that he can perform. He just needs to step it up and keep working, and I think he'll get back to it. I don't see him falling that much.
I mean, speaking of perform, another player we got to talk about, Javonte Williams. He was so good that last week and in week one. The run game has been much better than expected. Do you think that's going to continue throughout the season?
I think so too, because with Javonte Williams, he just within 2 weeks, the run game has just looked so much better, because last year you just had Rico Dowdle, an old man, Ezekiel Elliott, and a running out of fumes, Dalvin Cook. And with Javonte Williams, within 2 weeks of the season, he's brought back life to that running back scene. And, Miles Sanders, we can throw in Miles Sanders too. He did okay. He had a touchdown too. But really, Javonte Williams has revitalized that running game for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, and I think a big part of that is Tyler Booker, the first-round pick, because there's been injuries on that offensive line with Cooper Beebe. He's going to miss some time coming up, but Tyler Booker has really helped solidify that run blocking for the offense. Looking at CD earlier, you talked about him. He had a much better game this week. Do you think that this is more to come for the rest of the season? Do you think CD is going to continue to be top end?
I think he's still going to be top end. I think what they'll continue to do, and they should continue to do, even though he is basically shut down, get him to pair up with George Pickens and even out the ball reception from Dak giving the ball to both Lamb and Pickens. I think he'll be just fine, really.
Yeah, and offense always results in kicking, and the Cowboys might have one of the greatest kickers of all time. We saw Brandon Aubrey sink a 60-plus yarder to go to overtime. I mean, do you guys think he has a GOAT argument yet, or is he not there yet?
I personally think it's too early to tell. I mean, he is very consistent from the 50 to 60-yard range. We haven't seen this out of someone since, I would say, Justin Tucker. So I believe that he is getting up there, but with the names like Adam Vinatieri and Tucker, it's like, he's getting there, but he's not there yet.
Definitely a tough conversation to get into. What about you? Do you have him in that number one spot yet?
Firstly, in my opinion, Brandon Aubrey is just automatic. Like, you can trust him with any field goal he has. And he's truly living up to – I think he is better than Justin Tucker. And if you need a kicker, he's going to be reliable and useful for that team, whatever team he's on.
I agree. I think that he might be the greatest kicker of all time. I think that, like you said, Vinatieri's definitely in that conversation, but you can't deny the results he's had, the 60-plus yarders. He's made that look like it's easy. It's money for him. But week 2 was a mixed bag. You know, we won the game, but week 1, even though despite the loss, might have looked better. Do you think that it was more promising in week 2 despite the win with us? The Giants had a lot of penalties. It was a sloppy game. So despite that win, do you still have faith in the Cowboys?
I think I personally still have faith for the Cowboys. You know, it looked bad against a Giants team that made Russell Wilson look elite again. But I think with them going against the Chicago Bears in Soldier Field this Sunday, I think they'll have a bounce-back game. And with how Chicago is struggling both on offense and defense, I think they'll have a better game. Both for the receivers and the running backs, they're going to have such a better game this week.
Bowie, how about you? Despite the sloppiness, did you still see promising signs in week 2? Are you still confident?
It's a mixed bag for me. I think the Cowboys have a lot to work on defensively, and against I'd say a pretty average running game with Chicago, it's like they really got to just crack down on that, and they got to contain the Bears, because if they don't, there's going to be a lot of question marks for this season, and it's going to be really concerning for Dallas.
Yeah, I think the Bears' running game with DeAndre Swift is one of the worst in the league, and definitely will be a game for the Cowboys' defense to get right. But what about that defensive line? We saw the pass rush have a pretty good game against the Giants, but it didn't really matter as Russ still got off what he had. Do you think the pass rush is going to be able to make an impact versus the Bears with Braxton Jones being a question mark at tackle?
I think the defense is still going to be all right for the Cowboys defense. You know, Donovan Izaraku is going to be, you know, he's still young. He's still going to be developing. But also, too, with the addition of Jadeveon Clowney coming to Dallas, you know, he's back in Texas for the first time since he was in Houston. I think him building up, you know, Donovan Izaraku and the rest of the edge rushers on the Dallas defense, I think they're going to go easily going after Caleb Williams in that offense. They should have a field day with them going against Caleb Williams.
Do you share that same opinion? Do you think they're going to have a field day?
Yeah, I think it's going to be very promising. I think the Cowboys are going to just demolish that offensive line, and I see the Cowboys winning by 2 scores.
Let's get final score predictions. What are your final score predictions before we move on?
So I would say my final prediction score for the Cowboys against the Bears in Soldier Field, I'm going to predict a 30-14 win
for the Cowboys. Bowie, what about you?
I've got the Cowboys winning 20-10. I say it's going to start out really low scoring because there's just a lot of question marks on both sides, but I do see the Cowboys prevailing with CD and Pickens having shared receptions and the run game's still looking good.
I also see the Cowboys winning. I'm not sure the score. I think around 27 points is right, but we'll have to see this week. Next block, we are going to talk about UNT football. Join me after these commercials.
Haunting in the depths of NTTV studios. Something special is brewing just for you.
Hey ghouls and goblins, NTTV News is having a special Halloween segment this October 31st. We're also covering 31 days of Halloween in Denton. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be spooktacular. Are you tired of seeing the same old city? You want to learn something and go overseas? Then study abroad with one of many UNT Study Abroad programs. You can find a Study Abroad office right here at Markey Hall, room 145.
My study abroad program left on me a great impression. We have a lot of different programs and it varies. We have faculty-led, affiliate, and exchange programs. When you're ready to leave for your study abroad program from UNT, you're going to go through pre-departure orientation and modules so that you are prepared.
The power to turn the world into your classroom is right here at UNT with our study abroad programs. Take flight and take in charge of your education.
Hey Alex, this guy on the internet says he wants to give me money.
That sounds suspicious.
What do you mean?
Typically, strangers who promise you money on the internet have their own best interest in mind. They often use bounced checks, which will disappear shortly after depositing, but not before they've asked for some money in return.
So he doesn't really want to spoil me.
No.
Well, then what should I do?
The best way to handle it is to block and report the suspicious message, or even consult local law enforcement if you've already fallen victim.
So I guess we aren't going to Key West for spring break.
No.
Welcome back to SportsZone. For this block, I'm joined by Maddie Holston and Eli Thomas. How are you guys doing?
Well,
Did you guys watch the UNT game this weekend? I mean, what a game.
of course.
What were you guys' takeaways? How'd you feel about it?
Me personally, our defense, right? We brought in Cassidy last December in 2024, came in and completely changed the defense, right? We have 4 interceptions on the season, and guys who struggled last year have came in. A name like Ethan Woloski, he had 4 TFLs for the season last year. He has 5 TFLs this year, and we smashed the team 51-0, right? So we put the teams in the dirt down 4 games in the season. Like I said, if we continue to rely on that, we'll be all right.
Yeah, the defensive unit has looked incredible. What did you think, Maddie?
I thought that maybe, just maybe, they would be ranked on ESPN. But after that blowout too, because it was big. I think that the newest offense member too, Drew Messemaker, he's doing amazing, and he's really contributing to the team.
Yeah, they had the quarterback battle in the spring, but Drew Messemaker won it, and he's showing that he should have won it because he has been incredible this year. He's been one of the best quarterbacks we've had in modern times for UNT. Do you think he's similar to the likes of Mason Fine, the legends of Mean Green?
Me personally, I wouldn't give him that stature yet, right? Because we can't pronounce somebody as a great quarterback in 3 games, right? Because if he's good for 3 games and he plays horrible for the rest of the season, then we don't know what's going to happen. So it's all about staying consistent. We can't put him in the likes of Mason Fine at that stature yet because of longevity, right? When we think of the greats, you don't become the best in something in 1 season, right? You think of LeBron James and Tom Brady, the greatest of all time. They were stacked upon season on season. They were great for years. So, right, if we want to put him in that statue, it all starts with this season. He has to stay consistent. He's, like I said, the word longevity. That's the big word for him, be able to stack seasons upon seasons. And Mason Fine threw for 3,900 yards in a year, back-to-back years where he made a bowl game, 9 wins in a season, right? So he has to continue to do that, right? Continue to win games. Like we started off 3-0, win games, play as well as he's been playing, and longevity and being consistent.
Yeah, the signs are great. Maddie, do you think, maybe the best 3-game start for a UNT quarterback because he has been so incredible. What do you think about his performance so far?
I think, Eli, you're absolutely right. It's going to be about the long game. It's going to be about seeing how he performs in the next games of the season. 6 feet 4 inches of talent, that's for sure. But he's only had like 700 yards right now, and it's slowly decreasing. In the first game, he had 329. In the second, it was 224. And then the last one is 211. So we can't be placing bets now. We have to wait it out. We have to see how he performs next.
Definitely agree. And I'm excited to see the rest of the season with him. And I'm also excited to see this defense play out for the rest of the season. There were some worries about the physicality of a big school like Washington State coming into the desert indention, as they called us, but we were incredible. Held them to 10 points. What did you guys think about the defense? It was just insane.
Like I said, the defense is continuing to get better. We brought in Cassidy, and he's continued to change this defense, and they struggled. Talked about our physicality and everything like that. We put hats on head, right? And we're the one that bringing that pressure. We're the one that's coming with that mentality. So like I said, if we continue to do those things, continue to have that mindset and mentality, which all stems from a coach, right? If we continue to have that, then we'll be all right, and we'll continue to have a great defense down the line. And we got a big game this weekend, right? Saturday. And that's a team that's going to come with more physicality, a team that was good last year, and a team that's renowned as a team that's a good football team. So we got to come with that physicality again Saturday at 11 a.m.
Yeah, you talk about running the ball. That is a school that you have to be afraid of. Army is a physical school, but you just have to worry about that physicality. Maddie, what do you think about this defense? Do you think it's going to hold up for the rest of the season, or do you think that this was just early season we're being good, but for the rest of the season we're going to struggle?
I sure hope so. Evan Jackson, that cornerback, he had an interception against Washington in the first play that they made, and he had a 60-yard return. So that's pretty promising, especially in the 3rd game of the season against such a big school like Washington. Eli said it, longevity, like we're going to have to see how they play and see if this defense can take a tougher school.
Yeah, the defense was just incredible. As we can see up in these highlights, we were just locking them down this weekend. But we got to look at the rest of the season. I mean, starting 3-0, like you said, I thought we were going to receive some votes in the poll or be ranked, and I think we will if we continue that up. But what do you guys see going on for the rest of the season? Do you think we can get up to double-digit wins, a ranked season? What's the ceiling for you guys?
Ranked season for sure. It all starts, like I said, with 11 a.m. on Saturday against Army. We have to win that game. And the competition we play, if we beat Army, we play the Navy, we play UTSA. If we can beat Army, it all starts there. We can compete with everybody else down the schedule. Rankings, we might not get into that top 12. You talking about college football playoff? No. No, we cannot get in there. And it's not because the team this year, is because the teams in the past might have stunk. So that's the reason why we can't get into that college football playoff just yet. But rankings, for sure, we can creep ourselves. I believe it was Army who was ranked 25 last year. So if we can beat them and beat the undefeated for the rest of the season, we started off right. I mean, and it's not like we started off just winning. We're
winning in dominant fashion. It's been impressive.
We're winning. So, I mean, if we continue that, and like I said, it starts with Army, and we continue down the list, we compete with a lot of teams. And 9 wins, we can get a bowl game for sure. And let's see if we can get an undefeated season.
Yeah, outside of Army, maybe USF, we don't really have much competition. Do you see an undefeated season maybe in our future, Maddie?
I say we can only hope. We can only hope. I'm more focused on getting the American, getting above TCU in that top 25 power ranking. Because, I mean, they've got a furry on their team. We are looking great.
Yeah, we are looking super great.
USF as well. That's a tough one too. I mean, they beat Florida. DJ Lagway, ranked at first, not ranked anymore, but
yeah,
that's a tough one too. We got to get that one down too.
Yeah, DJ Lagway, he struggled this year, and USF did struggle against Miami in their tougher game. But I think USF is the best team that we're going to be facing this year. And you guys said that the college football playoff isn't possible. I have to disagree. I think that if we go up undefeated this season, ESPN favors us in every single game. And I think an undefeated team with wins over like a USF, a Washington State, I think we could sneak into that playoff with the automatic bids.
You also got to think about it as well, though, because Texas, with their one loss at the beginning of the season, Arch Manning has not been playing well. But, I mean, they're ranked 8th in the country. They were ranked number 1 at the beginning of the season, but now they're 8th. If we sneak into that college football playoff at number 12, that would mean that we can compete with Texas. Do you really think that we can be with Texas?
Hey, I didn't say anything about once we get into the college football playoff. I said I think we could get there. I don't know if we're going to be able to compete.
I mean, to get in there, we
just have to beat USF and Army. That's all we got to do.
Okay.
We don't have to beat anyone like a Texas, but I do agree that once we get up against the Texases, the Bamas, it could be very difficult for us. But like we talked about, one of our most talented defenses in years, one of our most talented quarterbacks in years, this is a really impressive team, and
I agree.
I just can't wait to see more of it. And like you said, 11 a.m. this Saturday, we're playing Army. I hope every student goes there. Can't wait for it. Next block, we are going to be talking about another Texas team with the Texas Rangers. Join me after these commercials.
I wonder what's on the radio today. I don't know about this. This is not it.
Everything alternative, commercial free. 88.1 Indy.
Here at KNTU, we have 2 traditional stations, 88.1 Indy and KNTU Jazz. We've also recently launched an internet radio station called Mean Green Hits. If you want to hear more, you can check us out at MediaNorthTexas.com.
That was pretty good.
Craving something fresh, flavorful, and made just for you? Look no further than Avesta, your go-to destination for a delicious, full-service dining experience. Dive into our customizable omelets, expertly crafted by our talented cook Jonathan, who guarantees every bite is perfection. All our dishes are handmade, prepared with only the freshest ingredients. Explore our assembly line where you can choose from any of our globally inspired dishes, or customize your plate. It's that easy. And let's not forget dessert. Indulge your sweet tooth with treats from Clark Bakery. With convenient payment methods including card or flex, it's the perfect dining spot for any occasion. Quench your thirst with our wide selection of drinks. Just hand your drinking card to our friendly waiter, and they'll bring your beverage of choice right to your table. When you're done savoring every last bite, our attentive staff will whisk away your tray. Enjoy the peaceful ambiance as you dine in, or use our takeout option for a meal on the go. Avesta.
I use Flex to buy my favorite snacks.
I use Flex to get me through my mornings.
I use Flex at my favorite campus restaurants. I love how Flex is a cashless payment method
And can be used at all campus dining venues.
So, how do you use Flex?
Welcome back to Talk Texas Rangers. I'm joined by Haley Stum and Jack Shrupsha. We had a disappointing series against the Houston Astros. That was kind of what our playoff hopes hinged on, and we got swept. What did you guys think about that series?
Yeah, obviously a really important series at home. It was really important to, get, probably 3 wins here for this series, and, getting none out of it. Pretty crucial for them, and that really hurts their playoff chances quite a bit, in my opinion.
Yeah, the series was kind of a crossroads of whether their playoff picture was a clear path or not, and they took the road less traveled. With the 3 losses, they're now behind 4 teams in the wild card race, and they now have to best 2 of them. So they kind of need programs to implode, and they need to win almost 9 straight games to make it.
Yeah, and a lot of those wild card teams like Cleveland, we see a lot of really hot teams in the wild card, while the Rangers have not been hot. So it's not looking great. I do have to ask, though, do you guys think the Rangers are making the playoffs this year?
I don't believe so, as much as I wish they would. I mean, they're in win now mode, that's for sure. Like she mentioned, have to probably win out for their best possible opportunity. Huge series to end the season with the Cleveland Guardians, so got to win that. But I think things like the kind of the mid-August injuries that they faced proved to be detrimental to them. And I think just offensively, just kind of a drop-off this season compared to the past. But yeah, I'm leaning towards no.
Haley?
Yeah, I think the easy answer is no. In sports, you never want to say never. And technically they can,
they have a chance.
You've got Miami, you've got Minnesota. Both teams aren't great, so technically you could pick up 6 wins there. But again, like he said, you've got the Guardians. You'd have to pick up that series. The Guardians are still kind of in that race, and with the way the Rangers have been playing 4 straight losses, I don't see them gaining momentum anytime soon.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the season, momentum is kind of the key thing. You need to be hot. You need to be hot getting into the playoffs. But you mentioned the injuries, and that's been a big part of this season and last season. After the 2023 World Series, there's been a lot of injury issues. But what do you get from this season? Do you still see positives despite the injuries, or is this a sign of things to come in the future seasons?
I think the emergence of pitcher Jack Leiter, I think he proved that he's going to be a great ball player for the Rangers in the future. And I think Josh Smith really stepped up and proved that he's going to be a quality guy, every game moving forward for them as well. Because, Nathan Eovaldi going down, that a lot of people were throwing in the towel right then and there. But Jack Leiter playing really good baseball. So I don't think the pitching and really the defensive side of things has been the problem for them. But, kind of just those other injuries and the inconsistent offensive play, like I mentioned before, that's kind of was their downfall in my opinion.
Yeah, but with Jack Leiter, you have to take the positives. I mean, like you said, after Eovaldi got injured, we thought the season was over, but Leiter really stepped up, and now he's probably going to be the highest finishing pitcher for Rookie of the Year in the AL, if I had to guess. I mean, Haley, what do you take away from the season?
I think when we're talking about Texas in 2025, the Rangers have been one of the biggest underperforming teams in the majors, and you can take that as a positive or a negative. The positive side of that is they have the potential to be a postseason team. The negative is that they didn't live up to that. They've got an awesome rotation, and then the bullpen kind of supplements it very well, but this offense has been completely underwhelming, especially with their big players, their big stars that have supplemented virtually zero to this offense. And again, I think there's potential to be a postseason team, but this year they just didn't live up to that. And potential is probably the worst word in sports, especially in coaching hires.
And I think this is the second year that we're hearing that word potential for the offense. We have the Simeons and the Seagers, and they just have not performed. And you hate to start asking questions, but do you think the Rangers should move on from this core? Is the offense just underperforming where you have to believe in the Wyatt Langfords and just believe in the young core?
I believe that's a huge possibility going into the offseason, especially, assuming that they don't make it in, which is what it's looking like right now. I think that's something they're going to have to consider moving on from some of these guys, especially on the older side, and flip a page for this organization.
Haley, would you move on from the older guys, or would you stick around with them?
You know, with the state of Dallas sports this year, it's a very common trend to move on from your biggest player and try to change the structure of your team. So at this rate, I don't want to speak on the front office of any major Dallas sports team because of the moves that have been made. In my humble opinion, if I was at the front of that office, I don't think it would be a bad idea to move on from Seager or Simeon. The offense has been terrible. Simeon especially has not supplemented anything to that offense. If you want to address the core issue of the team, maybe move on from someone who is part of that issue.
Yeah, with all those Texas moves, the Rangers might be the only team that actually needs to blow up the team. You know, the Cowboys, maybe not. But speaking about the playoffs that we don't think the Rangers come into, how do you guys see the playoffs going? Who are your favorites in the National League and the American League?
I think just looking at the season at a glance, the Toronto Blue Jays have just been so good looking just throughout this whole season. It's really tough to not pick them coming out of the National League. So I think they're my favorite to win it all for the first time since the 92-93 season. But I have a little bit of a dark horse in the American League. I kind of like the Chicago Cubs coming out of there. I don't know for sure if they will, but I see it being a possibility. So I'm going to say those are my two favorites.
What do you like about the Cubs so much? Sell me on them, you know?
A little bit biased just being from that area, and just, you know, I see it happening potentially. The Blue Jays are my favorite, though. That's just kind of a
I feel you. Blue Jays.
Unpopular pick. I thought I'd throw out there.
Blue Jays have definitely been great. Haley, what about you? What's your playoffs looking like?
I also had the Blue Jays, and it was because of the offensive turnaround that they've done from 2024 to 2025. They went from worst to first. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. led that squad in 2024, but had no supporting cast. And when we look at this year, he's got 7 returners on that lineup that have now supplemented his efforts. So I really like a team that's kind of an underdog, but kind of has some momentum on their side. I also kind of like the Dodgers, and we spoke about this 2 weeks ago, and we had some rebuttal, but looking at what they've done in 2 weeks now, I think is just a huge turnaround for them. You've got a rotation that is on fire. Blake Snell last night told the coach, no, I'm good, let me stay in and shut it down. I like that energy from their rotation. And now Mookie Betts is hot, which is a huge piece, and he's getting hot at the right time. So yeah. I like the Dodgers and the Blue Jays.
We talked about momentum. Dodgers definitely have a lot of it. I like the Blue Jays. I don't really know who I like about the American League. There's a lot of teams I could see, but Dodgers I think are the big World Series favorites, you know. But that is all the time we have for the Rangers talk. Next block, we will talk about the WNBA playoffs, so join me after these commercials.
Great block, y'all.
There's no harm in wanting to have fun while in college, but it's easy to lose track of how much you've had. Apps like Drink Control and Alkadroid can help keep track of your consumption and blood alcohol levels. If you or someone else does drink too much, the signs of alcohol poisoning are as follows: pale skin, vomiting, confusion, low body temperatures, irregular breathing, blacking out, and is hard to wake up or cannot be woken up.
Dude, are you okay? Hey, what's wrong? Wake up.
It's an exciting time of year, but it's important to be responsible. If you suspect someone is suffering from alcohol poisoning, get help immediately. You will not get in trouble for seeking help if you are underage. For more info and resources, go to UNT's Division of Student Affairs.
Are you tired of seeing the same old city? You want to learn something and go overseas? Then study abroad with one of many UNT Study Abroad programs. You can find a Study Abroad office right here at Markey Hall, room 145.
My study abroad program left on me a great impression. We have a lot of different programs and it varies. We have faculty-led, affiliate, and exchange programs. When you're ready to leave for your study abroad program from UNT, you're going to go through pre-departure orientation and modules so that you are prepared.
The power to turn the world into your classroom is right here at UNT with our study abroad programs. Take flight and take in charge of your education.
Haunting in the depths of NTTV studios. Something special is brewing just for you.
Hey ghouls and goblins, NTTV News is having a special Halloween segment this October 31st. We're also covering 31 days of Halloween in Denton. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be spooktacular.
Welcome back to SportsZone. I'm your host, John Phillips. The WNBA playoffs are in full swing, and here to join me to talk about them, we have Q Cherry and Oscar Chavez. Guys, it's been an exciting playoffs. What have your takeaways been? What are the main things you've seen?
Well, I'll go first for the first game. Is it the Fever and Dream? Fever and Dream, honestly, it's a coin flip. I think the Dream take it in Game 3, but they have to react or just play consistently. In past games, we've seen them go in with it with the refs. The refs are calling pretty much everything. The Fever are taking it well, and the Dream isn't. The Dream have had a poor shooting night. That more attests to the Fever's three-point defense. I'll let him talk about it a little more.
So when I was trying to answer this question, I wanted to more answer like the moments in these tournaments. So with me, it was shout out the Golden State Valkyries. I mean, in your inaugural season, you make the playoffs. I know a team in Arlington with a generational talent that was built in 1998 or established in 1998 that did not make the playoffs this year. So that kind of sucks. But either way, it's a big shout out to them. Those are players that were pulled out of an expansion draft that were just left hanging with other teams, you know. Players that just were gone off to the side and not wanted. Well, they made their part in the Valkyries. They took them all the way to the playoffs. They didn't win a game, but they sure made Game 2 tough against the best team in the WNBA.
That comeback in Game 2 was absurd, but Golden State, they've been so impressive this year. They had the most improved player, Veronica Bird. They have been such an impressive team, but we saw Nafisia Collier. She was too much to handle for Golden State. I mean, the first team to go to the second round. Title favorites probably, but we'll talk more about that later, talking more about the first round. I think for the Atlanta Dream Indiana Fever series, I kind of lean towards the Atlanta Dream. Their head coach, Carl Smesko, he used to coach at Florida Gulf Coast University, and I really like his offensive system. It's really fast-paced, and like you said, they had an off shooting night, but I think in Game 3 they're going to settle down and make a lot of threes and advance to the next round. Oscar, what about you? How do you feel about the New York Liberty and Phoenix Mercury series?
So I have the Liberty taking that series, and I have it just because of team basketball. So if we look at this, the series leaders in that series, we have the Mercury. It's all Alyssa Thomas. It is all Alyssa Thomas. You have, she's the leader in points per game, she's the leader in rebounds, and she's the leader in assists. If we look at the Liberty, they have it spread out, and there's three players, all three individual players have their leader in cloud with points per game, Jones in rebounds per game, and Sabrina in assists. So I do think in Game 3, Sabrina has a big one as she is projected to play this game.
I mean, Sabrina's going to have to carry a lot of the load with Breanna Stewart injured. We saw in Game 2, she only played 20 minutes, didn't play in the fourth quarter because she looked really bad out there. They were really exposing her with that pick and roll offense. They were just going at her in the paint, and she could not do anything. Do you think that she'll play a big part in Game 3, or do you think that injury is going to hamper her too much?
I think it hampers a little bit, but we know who she is. She can get it done. But I also lean with the Liberty winning the game. The other team, what again?
The Phoenix Mercury.
The Mercuries? Oh, so sorry. I think the Liberty get it. If the only reason why they go down or they don't win the game is because they just meshed together a bunch of people really late on in the regular season. We're still seeing playoff growing pains. So that's the only way I see them losing is if they just can't coordinate together.
Yeah, with the injuries they've had all season, they've had not much time to gel as a team. So I definitely see what you're saying. And when the Phoenix Mercury, they have Alyssa Thomas. I mean, she is so good. I mean, the MVP race, I think we should talk about it. We talked about Collier earlier. We talked about Alyssa Thomas. The one we haven't talked about yet, Asia Wilson for the Vegas Aces. Who do you guys have as your MVP? Who do you think it's been?
I mean, I think we all know who it is. Asia, right?
It's Asia. It's Asia.
I mean, the AT. I don't think AT's. I've seen some of the voters' thoughts. Though she's leading in every playoff category so far. I think she came in too late for any of the voters to really give her an edge over anyone else. I think it's just Asia and Collier, and the reason people have Collier is because she's scoring well. She's overall being efficient, 50, 40, 90. But I think I also only think she's in the race because the Lynx only have 4 more wins than the Aces.
Best team in the league, 34-10. I mean, that's a good reason to be in the race. Oscar, who do you think? Do you agree with Asia being the MVP?
I have Wilson. Yes, Asia Wilson in the MVP front runner, and strictly because it's a regular season award. We're talking about with Alyssa Thomas leading in her series, but Asia has been doing it for so long. I mean, if she captures this one, it's going to be her 4th MVP. And yes, she took a step back in maybe points per game, but everything else she was doing so great. And maybe her biggest attribute on the court is her gravity. I mean, we saw in those first games that they did not have it rolling the aces. They couldn't cook up anything on offense that wasn't Asia Wilson. So they start playing a little bit more through her. She starts getting a little bit more in the passing game, and it opens up, gets a 16-game win streak to end the regular season, gets to 17th, but is shattered in game 2. It's going to take a big game 3 if she can really get it going in that 4th quarter.
Yeah, the second half of the season from Asia Wilson was just insane. I mean, like you said, 16-game win streak, that doesn't happen because you're playing poorly. You know, that happens because you are playing the best basketball in the league. But I have to disagree with you guys. I think she had that super strong second half of the year, but Collier is my MVP. I think Minnesota is the best team in the league, and despite Collier missing a couple more games than Alyssa Thomas and Asia Wilson, she had as much of an impact in all the advanced stats. I think that she was the best player, and the Lynx are the best team, and to me, that's the MVP. Even though, as a Westbrook fan, I do want to give Alyssa Thomas the triple-double shout-out. You know, I always want to vote for those MVPs, but I can't. You know, you talked about how they lost their winning streak in game 2, and that is because Seattle has their rookie, Dominique Malonga, their center. She didn't play much in the regular season, but in this game 2, we saw her get unleashed defensively, and she really locked down Asia Wilson. She played some of the best defense we've seen on her this whole season. Do you think that in game 3 we're going to see more of Dominique Malonga?
I mean, Sherry, you had brought it up before we were talking about this. It was 7 minutes in that 4th quarter where she went scoreless?
She went scoreless for 7 complete minutes.
I mean, that is insane. Do you think that's going to happen in game 3, or do you think she's going to lock in and show she's the MVP?
Hopefully she locks in and shows she's the MVP. Like, I really think she can get it done. She, like, you said, what about Collier, that the better team?
Yeah.
But the thing is, the MVP is not a team award, it's a player award. And you brought up the advanced numbers. Asia Wilson has the better numbers in every category. So even with that, I don't see how you could give it to Collier.
That's definitely fair, but, you know, talking about Dominique Malonga, the rookie, you know, I think she might be the most talented rookie in the class. You know, Paige Beckers won Rookie of the Year, and I love Paige Beckers. But Dominique Malonga is such a freak of nature, where I think she gives Seattle a chance against Vegas, which I did not think I'd be saying when the series started.
Look, you could have a physical specimen like, I don't want to mispronounce the name, Malonga, like her herself. However, with Beckers, I mean, Beckers is one of a kind, a generational talent. Yes, sure, she can't lift her team to the playoffs, but at the end of the day, in Arlington, since 1998, Beckers is going to be the one who brings it home.
Talking about bringing it home, final predictions. Who is winning the championship? Oscar, go.
Las Vegas Aces.
Q.
Oh,
go.
Aces.
I have to say, I think Minnesota gets it done. I think they're the best team in the league. We'll have to see after these playoffs. Next block, we will be talking about UFC Noche. Join me after these messages.
Are you looking for a fun club with travel opportunities? Dive into the UNT Swim Club. Practicing Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Pole Recreation Center. We accept members at any skill level. For more information, reach out to us at unt.swimclub on Instagram.
Craving something fresh, flavorful, and made just for you? Look no further than Avesta, your go-to destination for a delicious, full-service dining experience. Dive into our customizable omelets, expertly crafted by our talented cook Jonathan, who guarantees every bite is perfection. All our dishes are handmade, prepared with only the freshest ingredients. Explore our assembly line where you can choose from any of our globally inspired dishes, or customize your plate. It's that easy. And let's not forget dessert. Indulge your sweet tooth with treats from Clark Bakery. With convenient payment methods including card or flex, it's the perfect dining spot for any occasion. Quench your thirst with our wide selection of drinks. Just hand your drinking card to our friendly waiter, and they'll bring your beverage of choice right to your table. When you're done savoring every last bite, our attentive staff will whisk away your tray. Enjoy the peaceful ambiance as you dine in. or use our takeout option for a meal on the go. Avesta.
Welcome back to SportsZone. I'm your host, John Phillips, and for this last block, I'm joined by Haley Stum and someone who was at the UFC event, Jacob Garcia. You got to tell me, Jacob, how was it?
The crowd was just absolutely electric. I hope, Dana, if you're watching this, more fights in San Antonio, please. That was just the crowd, all from the first prelim to the main event, obviously. The energy was just electric, and it was just a fantastic time.
I mean, those no-check cards always are incredible times, but we got to talk about the fights. What fight caught your attention the most as a viewer at the fights?
Being there, it was obviously the main event, Diego Lopez and Gene Silva. You know, it was just a car crash from the moment that the bell rang and when it started. The second round, Diego Lopez hit a beautiful spinning elbow right in Gene Silva's temple, knocked him down, and finished the fight from there. Early on in the fight, Diego Lopez took him down and was in mount and just landing some vicious elbows, some vicious shots to the head. And then the second round, the momentum started to kind of shift in a way. Gene Silva was landing some big 1-2, some big right hands. He even stunned Lopez, but man, Lopez has a chin of steel. He's got a chin on him. And then all in all, Diego Lopez hit the shot that mattered, finished the fight.
When you get hit with that shot, you're not getting up. I mean, that was such a knockout. That's why he won performance of the night. It was incredible.
Well deserved.
Yeah, I mean, is he going to get another title shot? Because he is one of those top contenders, but he had the loss to Volkanovski. Do you think he's going to get a shot?
I believe that he will, but I think he needs one more fight first. He just came off that loss at 314 against Volkanovski. I know for this fight, Yair Rodriguez was offered it, and Diego Lopez accepted, but it was pulled out and withdrawn on Rodriguez's side. I think that he needs to fight Movsar Evloev. He lost him in 2023, and I believe that Movsar is in front of the line in him. And a number one contender fight would be spectacular. I think that would be fireworks. So that's what I really want to see from featherweight. And yeah,
that would be an incredible fight. I think the other contender that we see that's probably going to get the shot before him, we saw him have the knockout of the year this year, Haley, Lerone Murphy. Do you think he's going to get that shot at featherweight?
I think he do. I think he's a tough competitor. He's scrappy, and fighting is just a chess match, right? It's about how you can best someone and overcome whatever their weaknesses are, and I just really think that he will.
Yeah, and I think Lerone Murphy would be a really good matchup for Volkanovski, even though I do think right now Volkanovski's kind of in a class in his own in the division. I don't think really anyone's going to touch him for a little bit. Do you agree with that?
I agree. Volkanovski's just world class at featherweight. Lerone Murphy, you know, he has some good wins over Josh Emmett, Dan Ige, and then obviously the knockout against Aaron Pico, the vicious knockout.
Oh, rough.
I believe that he's next in line, 17-0 with one draw. I feel like that'd be a great fight. Volkanovski, though, he's just, like you said, in a league of his own. He's just something different.
He is really, really good. Talking about the loser of the main event, though, you know, Gene Silva, he's part of the Fighting Nerds team, and we've seen a lot of hype for them recently with them being 24-0 in the UFC coming into this year, and then all of them have lost their most recent fights. Is this the end of them as a top-level team?
I really don't think it's the end of them. I think that personally that their biggest problem is that they talk way too much.
Definitely.
Just settle down. Stay kind of in the shadows for now. Just get to work and start fighting some lower-level competition, lower-ranked guys. I think Gene Silva was sprung to the top too quickly. Diego Lopez is, like I said, he's got a granite chin. He's just a top competitor. And so I don't think it's the end of them. Carlos Paredes, for example, he came off a big win in his most recent fight, and I think that they'll be okay. They'll come back. Just give them some time, rest up, all of them, because, you know, it's been a rough couple weeks. Three of them.
I mean, yeah,
Mauricio referee.
This month for him, yeah.
I think just give them some time and they'll be back. They'll be back.
Yeah, I mean, they've been finding some real talent. Like you said, Diego Lopez, Rufi fought Benoit Saint-Denis. They fought some real talent. So
definitely.
I definitely think they could bounce back. Talking about some other fights in the night, we saw a Mexican prospect, David Martinez, get the win over a veteran, Rob Font. I didn't really think he was going to get the win. Did you guys see that coming going into the fight?
I honestly did not. Rob Font's a veteran of the division. You know, he knows how to win. He's fought a lot of top-level guys, you know, Sean O'Malley and all of them. It really surprised me. The second round, in my opinion, was the only one that Rob Font actually took. Other than that, I think that David Martinez was just controlling the pace. Big knockdown in the third round, towards the end of it. And it was kind of funny because at the end, David Martinez is just on top, and he just, you know, ground and pound, and the ref actually didn't hear the bell ring, and so they got to go for like another 5 seconds. So it's kind of funny, but you know, Rob Font's just a world-class guy too. He's been around with the best of the best. So David Martinez, it really shocked me. I was pleasantly surprised by him.
I mean, yeah, in his third UFC fight, getting a win over such a veteran, that's really big. What do you think the ceiling is for him, Haley? Do you see championship in his future?
Well, as one of the greats, Muhammad Ali, said, float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. He's got it down, he's got the timing, and he just knows when to strike. I think his ceiling is as high as he wants to make it.
Do you see him getting to that championship level in the division?
I think he could. Young prospect. I really think he could. You know, like I said, coming off a veteran guy, it's a good win to kind of kickstart him. I think that his next fight should be Mario Batista, 8th ranked in the division. I think that'd be a really good fight. And don't do what they did with Gene Silva. Boosted him up to the top of the weight class too quickly.
Or like someone we mentioned earlier, Aaron Pico.
Aaron Pico. Bellator curse. It's the Bellator curse.
Get this guy looking, Dana. That's what I'm saying.
But I really think that he can. His ceiling's as high as he wants it to be. He's got a lot of talent, and I'm really excited to see where he goes from it.
I definitely agree, but another talent that's been rising really fast, we saw Alexander Hernandez in the lightweight division. He had a win on the Noche card, and he's won 4 in the last 12 months. I mean, do you see this run continuing?
I definitely do. This week he had an interview where he actually mentioned that he's there. It's going to sound kind of funny, but he's the guy in his underwear collecting his checks. That's what he said. And so I don't know what his intentions are or what his goals are. It could be just to be there making money, you know what I mean? And so, but I think if he wants it to be, he can make some noise in the weight class. But if he's just there to collect checks, then, you know, he might take some easier guys. Wins for him and money in the pocket. So
I agree. Do you think he could get up to Tapuria at the top of that division?
I think so. I thought he had a great showing against Lee Kwong, and in fighting, it's about, you know, besting the person in front of you. I don't think it matters about whether they're easy or hard. I mean, when it's one-on-one, it's about, you know, if you can overcome that person or if you can just outwit them. It's really more of a mental match. I wanted to say game, but no, that's not correct. A mental match instead of a physical one, and if he's got it up here, then he can best anyone.
By the time he gets to the top division, I mean, is Tapuria even going to be there? I mean, we've heard rumors that he's going to fight Terrence Crawford. Do you guys see that boxing match happening, or do you think he's going to stick to the UFC?
I really hope it doesn't happen. With what happened with the Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor fight, it's just, they are two completely different sports, two completely different skill-wise they are. And so going into boxing, I just don't see that ending well. It's not a good match.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like to see that.
Dana is obsessed with the boxing. I don't really get it, but I will probably see more of it later on. But that's all the time we have for this show. This has been a great Sports Zone. Join me next week on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. I'm your host, John Phillips.